Roman Wolf didn't get distracted. Not by emotions, not by noise. A tech empire built on sweat and strategy had made him a billionaire at 33. But that night, after another cold business merger and a thousandth fake smile, one trembling text broke through. "I'm sorry, wrong number. I thought this was a shelter's contact. I just needed help feeding my baby. It's okay. I'll figure something out." Something about those words lodged in his chest. He wasn't sure why. Maybe it was the way it ended with, "I'll figure something out." That kind of grit, it reminded him of his mother, a woman who once worked double shifts cleaning motel bathrooms just to keep him fed. Before cancer took her and the system turned him into steel, he texted back, "Send me your location." The typing dots blinked, then stopped, then blinked again. "No, I don't know you. I'm sorry. Please forget this." But Roman Wolf had made a career off turning no into "watch me." He opened a back channel on her number. He had her full name in minutes. Meanwhile, across the city in a half-lit basement apartment, Rachel Miller clutched her 6-month-old daughter, Jessa. The power had been shut off. The food shelf was empty except for a crust of bread. She'd sold her wedding ring 2 weeks ago, sold her coat last week. All she had left was pride. She hadn't meant to text a billionaire. It was an old number she found in a church flyer for emergency resources. A misprint. Just her luck. But before she could cry herself into another restless night, her phone dinged again. $1,000 has been deposited into your Cash App. W. She stared in disbelief. Thought it was a scam. Until she called the balance, it was real. Roman pacing his penthouse, an unlit cigar in his hand. His assistant barges in. "Sir, you've got a 9 a.m. pitch with the Singapore investors." But he doesn't hear her. He's already typing again. "I don't want anything. Just help your daughter. I'll check in tomorrow." No signature, no flex. Just something real. Later that night, Rachel stares at her sleeping baby and whispers. Little did she know, this was only the beginning, because Roman Wolf hadn't felt anything human in years. And now he couldn't stop thinking about her. Rachel didn't sleep that night. Not really. She sat on the worn-out couch, watching the baby breathe, the flickering candle casting shadows on peeling wallpaper. She held her phone like it might vanish. $1,000. Enough to buy formula, food and diapers, and maybe pay off a little of the rent. But why would a stranger send that much? The next morning, her phone buzzed again. "Do you have enough now?" No name, no pressure, just a check-in. She hesitated, then replied, "Yes. Thank you. I don't know what to say." "Don't say anything. Just take care of her." Rachel felt her throat tighten. The world had been cruel for so long. This didn't feel real. Glass, steel, power. His boardroom buzzed with executives preparing for a $200 million acquisition. But Roman was elsewhere, staring at his phone, reading her messages again. His assistant, Mona, noticed. "You look distracted. That's not like you." "Just handling something personal." "Since when do you have a personal life?" she quipped. He didn't answer, because he hadn't stopped thinking about Rachel Miller since that night. Not in a rescue way, not in a savior way, in a haunted way. She reminded him of everything he'd buried. Struggle, survival, the raw truth of having no one. 2 days later, she texted again. "I used the money. Thank you. We're okay for now. You saved us." Roman replied instinctively, "Where do you live?" She didn't respond. She sent the address. The neighborhood was rough. Rusted fences, cracked sidewalks, streetlights flickering. Rachel cleaned all day, even borrowed a neighbor's mop just to make the place look decent. Then, a black Escalade pulled up. She peeked through the blinds. Out stepped a man in a tailored charcoal coat. Sunglasses at dusk. No entourage. No press. Just him. Rachel's heart thudded. She opened the door slowly, baby on her hip. They stared at each other. He was younger than she expected. Colder, but not unkind. "You came?" she asked softly. "You let me." He stepped inside, taking in the tiny apartment with its water stains and secondhand crib. Jessa giggled from her mother's arms. Roman's eyes softened. Just a flicker. "She looks strong," he said. "She is," Rachel replied. I had to be. They sat. She offered him tap water in a plastic cup, embarrassed, but he took it like it was fine crystal. Why did you help me? She asked finally. I don't know, he admitted, but I couldn't ignore it. Something told me you weren't just asking for money. You were asking to be seen. Rachel blinked, surprised by the honesty. You're not what I expected, she said. Neither are you. They talked for 45 minutes. No flirting, no fantasy, just realness. She told him about being abandoned while pregnant, juggling night shifts, skipping meals for her baby. He listened, like no one had ever listened before. When he finally stood to leave, Jessa reached out and grabbed his finger. And Roman Wolf, the man who once fired a VP for showing up late, smiled for the first time in months. She likes you, Rachel whispered. She's got good instincts, he replied. He turned at the door. I'll be in touch, if that's okay. She nodded. It is. As the Escalade pulled away, Rachel clutched her daughter tighter. Something had just changed, and it was far from over. Roman checked his phone every morning, every night. He told himself he wasn't obsessed, but every time a text pinged, he hoped it was her. Rachel had messaged once. A photo of Jessa smiling in a new onesie with a caption, her first real laugh. Thought you should see it. He stared at that photo like it was art. It made billion-dollar contracts feel empty. Back at her apartment, Rachel didn't know what to think anymore. Roman hadn't offered more money. No promises, no conditions. He just listened, showed up, checked in, and somehow in that silence, a strange connection grew between them. One night after putting Jessa to sleep, Rachel's phone buzzed. Roman, I'm coming by tomorrow. There's something I want to say. Her stomach twisted, nervous, curious, hopeful. The next day, the black Escalade rolled up again. But this time, he wasn't alone. A woman stepped out behind him, tall, poised, carrying a briefcase. Roman didn't smile like last time. He looked conflicted. Rachel, he said, this is Evelyn, my legal counsel. Rachel stiffened. Why is your lawyer here? Roman took a deep breath. I need to offer you something. It's not what you think. Evelyn opened the briefcase and handed over a folder. Inside was a check for $250,000 and a letter. It's yours, Roman said. No strings. I bought a new building near the south end of the city. It has apartments. You can live there, rent-free for 2 years. Rachel's eyes widened. Roman, I didn't ask for... I know, he cut in. That's why I'm doing it. He paused, voice lower now. I spent years building an empire because I thought power would protect me from ever feeling poor again. But you reminded me of something I forgot. What it means to care. What it means to look at someone and just want them safe. She looked down at the check, trembling. Why are you really doing this? Roman took a step closer. Because you didn't need a billionaire to save you. But I think maybe I needed you to remind me I was still human. Silence fell between them, heavy, charged. Then Jessa woke in the other room, crying. Rachel rushed in. Roman followed, and in that tiny, dimly lit space, he knelt beside the crib, gently holding the baby's tiny hand. I'm not trying to buy my way into your life, he said softly, but if you'd let me, I'd like to earn a place in it. Rachel's eyes filled with tears. One step at a time, she whispered. A sunny afternoon, a new apartment, light, clean, safe. Rachel opened the door to see Roman standing there with groceries and a toy giraffe sticking out of the bag. He grinned awkwardly. I forgot babies like toys, right? She laughed. For the first time in years, her laugh was full. You're learning. I have a good teacher. They weren't lovers, not yet. But they were something deeper. Two broken souls who had found each other by accident and stayed on purpose. And it all started with one wrong number. That turned out to be exactly right.